All right, ladies and gentlemen, you came for the breakdown, right? That's why you clicked. Why should we dilly-dally? Let's get into it. We are looking at Benicio del Toro. Oh, what a face for film, right? Definitely not a radio face. And he's in some sort of a cafe. What is this, Mykonos or something? Party boy, is he? And he's having a good time, gets recognized. Oh yeah, hit him with the shakas. Oh, that's just a thumbs up. Not quite as cool, but not bad. And tourists, yay, photo, Heineken, drink it. And that's not Antonio Banderas. No, it is not. And beer. Okay, so one thing I did see in here, which I really like, is this little look here. Right, this is the look that I could probably just make this a GIF and just send it to people when they say stupid things on set. You're just like, what? No. How do you want to do it? You want to shoot spherical? You want to do what? You don't like 4x3 or grain? Do you even know who I am? I bet you don't. Don't shake your head at me. Don't shake your head at me. Anyway, okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at. Not a super complicated commercial, but the lighting is beautiful. The lighting is beautiful. The color is fantastic. This looks to me, it's got that Company 3 vibe. And you're probably saying, what do you think Company 3 for? There's lots of colorists that do great things. There are. I'm just guessing, right? Making stuff up as we go. But it's a cool looking ad, right? The color is beautiful. The lighting works perfect. But it only really works because of the orientation of the action, particularly this shot, the location of our man here, Benicio, relative to the window, right? The window, which we're going to look through here, is boop, right there. Okay? So the camera was over here. Now camera looking in this way. Just imagine if it was the other way, looking out this way, and then looking in this way, right? As opposed to this way. Not as good, not near as good, and I'll show you why in a second. But there's a couple complicated little shots in here, but by the end of it, you should be able to shoot this. That doesn't mean that you actually will. In fact, you probably won't, but at least you can tell your friends it. You've got an idea of how to do this. Okay, so first up, this is our main shot, right? Not a whole lot of, should we go full screen mode? Do we dare? Don't you dare. Don't toy with me today. I'll resolve the double tap. Okay, so, I mean, this is a beautiful looking ad. We got lots of things in here that are interesting. Number one, let's just talk layers and composition, right? Always in threes. Everything is more fun in threes. Good luck telling that to the wife. And we've got our man in the middle here. Hello. Benicio del Toro. Good looking dude. And we've got lots of things in the background, right? That are creating depth. We've got the walls back there that we know about. We got this little line in here. This is interesting. Little brewski for the boys. It's interesting. Lighting, this is framework stuff. We're not adding a backlight, right? We're not gonna go full Hollywood on this ad. This is Mykonos, it's not Hollywood. But we've got sidey light that just reaches around. It's a little bit hard. You can see the shadow here. It's a little bit hard, but we get eye lights in both eyes. It's coming in big and soft because we are shooting the light from the window that we can't see, right? So this would work even if this window stretched all the way back down to here. It would still work because we'd be balancing that level of window versus the window we can't see. So we could have our 12 by 12 of diffusion right here. We could shoot our little M40 through here and we would be laughing. We don't really have to worry too much about the background here. It's probably two separate lights, if we're being honest. One for Benicio, and then there's another one back here for these folks, right? You just have to have it deep enough and a light big enough so you get this person and this person roughly the same. In exposure world, because they're so blobby in the background, doesn't really matter. We got a stand-in shot here. Stand-in shot, everybody. But it's a good looking image, right? Not too tall, not, we're not looking up his nose, we're not looking down at him, just casual conversation. We got the little reflections here, which is always good. Now, as we come in, let's look at the coverage here. This one is a weird shot, right? I don't remember what the audio is, but that's just a weird shot, right? I guess we got the Heineken thing in focus. But you can see looking back at all of the issues we are going to have if we look back this way, which is good that we never look back that way because you have all of this outside level that you have to contend with. We've got some fake light over here, really, really edgy, but that's not what you want to be looking at. Here, this is not the good way. And just imagine if this was Benicio del Toro's angle, right? It's not very flattering. We got this really harsh, fake backlight that is just a light inside of the restaurant, which is really tricky. You can see it's not on Our Lady outside. It's only inside of the restaurant. Somehow this light has managed to sneak in here. And this lady is 3 stops over, right? It's a weird, very strange look. And it's harsh on her. This is not good. But they're eyeing up our man, right? He knows what time it is. And this is not a great angle, but we're still doing interesting things. Now, as we come around here, pull focus, and hello, breathing. This looks, what is this like? This looks like Cook anamorphics to me. We come around here, now you're talking, right? Lighting, perfect. Blobbiness in the background. Little nod to Heineken. Let's keep it in frame, right? It's only 30 seconds. They're paying a lot of money for this man to be on screen, so they want the bottle next to him. This is the hardest part. All this stuff, easy, right? This shot, very, very simple. We know how to do this. It's not complicated. As long as you are able to pepper in the elements of the framework that we're always talking about and get the light, the right quality of softness that you want, it's pretty simple. This one, however, you look at the storyboards in this one, you're like, oh no. Now I actually have to be good. Right now I have to use my skills. I have to know what light is going to be powerful enough over here to balance the ambient day or to even key during the day. Then I have to get the schedule and the orientation of this cafe right to the time of day that we're going to be out there. Because what we don't want is some giant sun in the frame, right? Because it's going to be a giant blown out blob of hotness. And we're also going to have to compete with that light. So we need it up and out of the way. It's got to be up here, the sun. We don't want it anywhere near our set. And we certainly don't want it shining in a different direction from where we want to bring the key, either this way or, again, too low, too far around this way. We want the sun to not be on the other side of the building, right? So not behind the camera, because then that would be lighting up all this stuff in the background, which again, the front light makes it harder to compete with your own light. So you need even bigger lamps if you're going to shoot into front light. Plus, as we always talk about, just the shape on things in the background, it becomes more distracting. What you want are these little areas of highlight coupled with the darkness. Little area of highlight coupled with the darkness so that you can then point people exactly where you want to look. Now here, what we do, if we scroll forward a little bit, we've got, look at how hard that light is, right? We've got our big movie light key coming from the left-hand side. Now, this is going to be important, as you'll see in a second. You can see a little bit on him and a little bit on her, and it's under these awnings, so we know we're not gonna get this level any other way except for big, enormous, giant lights, and you can see it in her glasses there. As we come, this is the hard shot. This angle is, this shot is slightly easier because we're closer. And look at how much that backlight jumps up in level, right? Really, really harsh. Again, this is a reason why you don't want Benicio in this position, because it's gonna be hard to make him look that nice and make it feel natural, right? This doesn't really feel natural relative to the angle in the background. It feels like it should be way, way less than that. But we're going for interesting. We're trying to keep things different and keep contrast. So as we come around here, now, the angle you'll remember here, right? Look at this light. It's coming this way on Benicio because he's looking towards the camera this way, and we're gonna sell like this is coming from the window. Everything is good now. When we switch around to this shot, we're in trouble because now we're gonna have to front light it here. But instead of front lighting it from that same lighting position, just move it upstage, away. So it's still coming straight at him, but it's further away from the camera than it was previously, right? The light before was here looking this way. Now you move it this way and point it straight at him. So here, okay, we've got a little bit of flatness, right? It's not that great, but we know he's gonna turn his head and look this way. So we've got good framing here with our little area, this little line running down. You can see the reflections in the background of what this light is actually pumping out. And we've got some interest back there, just slashing light across, slashing light down here. Again, lighting from the window now that we can't see because our imagination tells us that this cafe goes this way, this is window, and this is all window that we're looking through now. Come here, and this is done like, okay, well, where's the camera? Well, there's probably a big 4x floppy behind the camera. They've probably blacked out the entire thing so as not to lose contrast, or you can just do it with a Pola as well, depending on the angle. And as he looks, so go from light coming this way, he looks, light coming significantly more this way, but I mean, that is sharp and clean, and that is a good looking image, right? Like, you'd be happy if you were behind the camera and you're like, yeah, I'm getting good at this. He looks over. Yes, we get the thumbs up from the, who are these people, Swedish? Maybe? What do you think, Swedish? That sounds good. And he looks over again, that's still that same lighting setup, gives him the shakas, and now this is the benefit of having the light in there, but a little bit up. You get this shadow, right? This shadow down the face. That is exactly what we are going for. And look at how, whereas before it was super, super hot, we've tamed this light way back, way, way, way back. And then we're adding these little elements in here. Again, keeping people inside of the frame to draw them in perfectly framed, and that bump of the light just that little bit further away. No one ever remembers where it is from shot to shot. I mean, you're looking at this back to back and you can barely even tell, right? And then we get the thumbs up. And again, now you can feel how hot this sky is getting, right? It's actually starting to be properly backlit now. We're looking up into the sky more. And this is the true level that you would get, right? You're getting sun plus ambient equals really, really dark. So you have to work very hard. Like this light that was on that guy before, it's completely gone. I don't know what we're doing here, but it's not balancing. From there, yes, same thing, right? Light over there, lighting from where you can't see, from underneath the awning, you get this beautiful shape. And then look at how dark it is inside compared to outside, right? And again, overlapping the frame. So you make it more interesting, don't show them everything, don't make it flat, make it as three-dimensional as you can. You get the reflections back there, you get the blobs over here, you get the people in the foreground. Just very, I mean, it's a simple ad, right? It's just Benicio del Toro sitting somewhere and these people losing their minds thinking this is Antonio Banderas. It's really, really simple, but really well done. Just a beautiful looking color. And then of course, they probably brought in the beer man for this. The cinematographer, normally, the cinematographer that does all this stuff doesn't do this stuff, right? Normally they hand this over to the beer man because it's probably not even real, that bottle. Anyway, that's a good looking look at an ad that is, again, simple. You'll probably be spending the majority of your career doing stuff like this, where the boards here looks very, very easy. But if you chose a location that didn't allow you to light from the windows that you can't see, things become very complicated very quickly. And if you have a shot where maybe you get a little hot in one, you know, you get a little bit hot on this backlight, it's after lunch, you're a little bit sleepy, you had a couple croissants, you don't know what time it is, it takes you a while to get into the rhythm afterwards. Just, you know, when you go to the next shot in the sequence, which is probably this stuff, just make it look pretty again. And everybody forgets about, you know, being 3 stops over in one shot. So, okay, that is going to do it for this one. Many thanks for checking it out. If you want to see this stuff, but feature Film World, check out the Patreon group. You can find the link in the description below. Many thanks, goodbye.